You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy.
Hi guys, good morning ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of your Footy Fantasy podcast. I'm with Bola Home smiling and beaming at me, and the man who's trying not to look at the camera, trying to look busy is Benny. He's in severe pains, and please let me just beg. So before we kick off, let me remind you, we are always here on Sundays, same time, every week. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and on Instagram. On YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, we are Footy Fantasy. On YouTube is a little different. It is on Twitter it's a little different. It is Footy AB Fantasy. That's the only place is different. Every other place is Footy Fantasy. So please like, subscribe, and most importantly, share your comments today. I will be taking comments live. Actually, before we even dive in, there are already some comments here, so I'll read them and then we can go. People coming in here fast. So the first comment we have here is from GSJ Music. He goes, "Oga Kwame, I never expected pause or anything to ask now. Both teams are useless, Baba." Oh, actually, Kwame had a comment before. He said, Benny has some explaining to do. This one that Chelsea is seeing more red than all. And then
Chelsea had new reds.
Said he never expected Chelsea to ask Spurs to do anything. And then Oga Kwame says, "Person when no know what he say Buchina, why would you Chelsea?" I know. And then he goes again that why is coming up slowly? Benny has some explaining to do. This one, the Arsenal is always saying more red. And then Ayo comes in with, "Good afternoon, gentlemen, and happy Sunday service." Man, these people came to your service today. When people came to your service, they are lining up. Just to see more red is because they need the blood of Jesus to save them. Man, you go to Sunday service on your head, Benny. They are here for you. They are here for you. So Benny, let's help you believe some of this. So I think we should start. Give us your review of the Arsenal Chelsea game. Your mournful review.
First things first. The fact that you wore all blue cap, blue shirt, you lulled me into a false sense of security that I was in friendly areas, not knowing you were setting me up just to tear me down. How would you start off? I've been on this podcast many times. I have never seen when you start off with comments. You start off with comments just to put me in a position where, you know what, it's okay. It's okay. But it's a shame to lose to Arsenal 3 times in one season. Something that hasn't been done in a long time, if ever. But this one pains me even more. I'm in severe pains because I thought we would be the spoilers of this childish dream that Arsenal has to win the EPL. I thought we would be the spoilers. I woke up this morning early enough. I logged into church service. Normally I miss it sometimes, I'm not going to say why. But I logged in today, waiting for the Holy Spirit to tell me that Chelsea will do the, do me the honors of spoiling Arsenal's run. I didn't hear anything. I was wondering why the pastor was so focused on raising money this Sunday instead of going into prayers. But I can see why. Prayers I would have gone into to prevent this from happening. Corner FC did it again. Corner FC did it again. And I can't wait for these people. I don't know, FA, they're probably lagging on how to, because there's so many fouls going on during this corner, whatever, encroaching on the goalkeeper and everything. I'm not a sore. I won't be sore about it because obviously they've done it to everybody. But scoring 16 goals off of set pieces, off of corners, is insane. Kudos to them for figuring out.
How many against Chelsea?
That's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Today was 2 against Chelsea, and obviously they conceded 1 from their corner. But let's on a more serious note, though. The first half is just, I don't know if you want to go into details yet, but I am not happy about it. The first half is something that we just need to not lose because we were just containing Arsenal. They high pressed us, almost made Sanchez commit multiple errors, and that guy, I don't know what it is. There seems to be a lag in his processing time, like the main frame in his head. There's always a lag between whenever he gets the ball, his first instinct is just to stop the ball dead, not to go sideways, or that first touch is always crucial. But for some reason, he always stops the ball first, which gives the Arsenal strikers time to encroach and like try to stop something from happening. So many near misses, so many near errors. But having said that, it was an unfortunate game. Bit of the childishness that comes with having only a team of young players where they don't understand like yellow cards and the impact of decision making, and the potential for red cards. And 7 or probably 9 red cards this season already. That just comes from being childish. Comes from a lack of discipline, of not understanding, the moment, the context of the game you're in, and the impact that your decisions have on the game in total. Because when that went down to 10 men, it became almost impossible. So many things to talk about right now, but I'll hold off. I'll let the Arsenal man there gloat a little so I can attack him. Arsenal man, go ahead.
Hold on, please.
Yeah, so up Gunners. Anyway, yes, the match was a good one. I was a bit apprehensive leading into the game, and that was because at least we've done 2 already on Chelsea, and I was thinking, okay, third time Chelsea might turn things around, like team might rally around, okay, what can we do against this Arsenal team? But it appeared from the first couple of minutes that they hadn't done their homework well. Sanchez was a bit jittery, and they were trying to play from the back, but I noticed that, we were forcing them to make errors. And, so I thought, okay, yes, we smelled blood, and I was hoping, okay, would capitalize and pound Chelsea, but unfortunately it didn't happen. I expected a bit more from Saka because I thought Saka would fancy his chances against Hato and the Sa, the young centre back, because there was no Cucurella and the other centre back pairing. But unfortunately, I didn't think that he imposed himself as I would have loved him to. So basically the game was passing by the attack, and we weren't imposing. But of course, our secret weapon came to fruition once again, bailed us. Beautiful corner from Saka, back post, whipped it in. Air Gabriel kept it alive, and 1-0 to the Arsenal. I was delighted, yeah. And I'll give kudos to Rich James. He's a class player. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I have to give credit to whom credit is due. Rich James is really good, and he caused us a bit of problems with his corner kicks. I noticed that we were a bit jittery as well. Benny, you accused us of pushing and corner kick FC, but it depended on it too, right? There was a lot of holding and grabbling and tussling around in the 18-yard box, but eventually we considered an own goal and our heads dropped. And this has been a hallmark of Arsenal: go in the lead, concede, and then start to panic. Zubimendi, very loose on the ball, very careless on the ball. He almost gave it away. I also thought that after the error he made a couple of weeks ago, he would have exercised that demon and come back to his usual self, but he was jittery. But again, corner kick came again to help us lead, and I'm happy that we won. It was a well-deserved victory, even though we didn't play to our best, but at least we utilized what we have and we took the opportunity. back to 5 points, game in hand. Sorry, one game ahead, and I'm hoping that would see through. Yeah, that's all. Over to you.
That's a fair analysis. I think at this stage, it's about. You see, I came here said bombs be squeaking. It's a squeaky bomb time. I agree with Benny's analysis, except for one thing. The problem with Chelsea is not youth. I think that youth excuse. I'm tired of hearing it, because the guys that were most jittery today were the guys that were older. You're looking at Sanchez. Sanchez is one of the senior members of the squad. That senior man did that now. That's a senior man.
Senior man is relative. Let's
Yeah, but
senior man is relative. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're talking about Chelsea's squad is young, he's not young, he's not inexperienced. Neto is not one of the young ones. Neto's over 25.
Try.
What I'm trying to say is that sometimes the problem with Chelsea, I think people give Chelsea is this excuse of they're very young and we're letting them get away with basic errors. Like this red card thing is not a youth issue. It's a squad issue. It's a discipline issue in the squad. It's a discipline issue that should be corrected. It didn't start with this man. It's been going on long. It's a long issue because you had people like Enzo Fernandez has that kind of petulant issue of getting unnecessary cards. But those little things, those little errors, these are not errors that are down to you. I think it's just a squad issue. Maybe there's not enough people who want to win, who care more about winning. If you look at a Chelsea team of the past, it wasn't about how good you were, it was sometimes about how much you wanted to win. So I think that's the problem I think with this Chelsea team. They give people too many. You're going to do 2-0 up and you let the team come back and win, not once, not twice. That's happened many times this season. Shows me something about a team that hasn't really gotten into the business mind, of aspect of that game. Contrast Arsenal, a very young team. When we talk youth, we forget that Arsenal too are a very young team. So that is why I say this youth thing we shouldn't overplay it. Because on the other side is an Arsenal, a very young team that grew from youth. We're making the same kind of errors that Chelsea were making, but they were learning from it. It seems some of the Chelsea guys want to keep going, I'm young. Whereas Cole Palmer, for example, is young. He's not saying I'm young. He keeps. So I think they should stop giving that excuse and pick themselves up. They're all pros. That's just my honest analysis. Regarding the corner FC, if we take out those kind of corners, there's no goals today. Because that's a weird thing. That's one thing I dislike about Arsenal. If there's something I'll take out of Arsenal is this, that Arsenal is such a boring team to watch. Arsenal was, for me, born on exciting football. They were the guys that used to have ball of force, Moreno packing the ball, Manchester United one football. And then all of a sudden, they're the long throw experts, corner kick expert. If there are no corners or set pieces, Arsenal do not score. If you don't get a corner or set piece, you might not score against Arsenal. They will just kill the game, turn the game into a ball first. And this for me is not football, because it's like you're just. It's more boring than the Mourinho type of football that these guys were criticizing. But that's a story for another day. Because this is just grind the game down, grind it down, grind the opponent down, make your opponent give up, and just let you score. Ugly goal. When last Arsenal scored a beautiful goal? Ugly goals. So Arsenal will be champions, I believe, but they will be the ugliest champions ever.
Let me.
Okay, Paul Scholes. I can see it's the Man U win today that's making him talk like this. He's just firing shots left and right. Okay, that's fine. Well, I'll let Brown go first. Go first, Brown.
Okay. You touched the point. Okay.
Well, Benny says, says that my ear of Benny. So, no vest with a vest. I'm mad you guys didn't even do your job. Then on the other side of it, You had him going, Benny, the find glory, Pastor, the find money.
And money.
He also said that Bola looks happy, and I hate. I can't even blame Ro Junior for the loss today. What is he supposed to do? Then in comes Ibitokun, right? Yeah, Ibitokun goes. We need to bench Zubimendi. He's starting to be a liability. Yeah, he's all of a sudden the guy that took very quick to the English game is now looking like it's passing him by. He probably needs a break because is this not showing on screen? I want to show on screen when I okay, wait. I'm sorry, I'll go back again. A lot of comments are coming in, so I'll pause and we'll continue talking. A lot of comments are coming in, so they're refreshing faster than I can hit it. So when I hit it, it goes down to the bottom one. So let's go back to you, Bola, and we'll take more comments. A lot of comments,
right.
Like 10, 15 comments. So we'll pause after you and take comments.
Great. Okay, I want to respond to two things. The first one being Arsenal being a boring team and heavily reliant on corner kicks. I feel the corner kick response is how the game has evolved, what the game brings. In the league, the English Premier League is extremely tough. 90% of the team you face are employing low block, mid block tactics. It is extremely hard to break those teams down. So the way teams set up, like they set up to double up on wingers, double up on strikers and everything. So it's extremely hard. Now, conversely, if we go to Europe, you can't say Arsenal is a boring team in Europe. We score. We're very, very resilient in Europe. We take teams apart. So it's a response to the times. And also, Arteta being who he is. Arteta was there when Liverpool used to drop us 5-0. Chelsea used to wallop us 6-0. Man U used to beat us 8-2. And Arteta being who he is, I think that scarred him. And his mindset is, okay, in this league, if I'm not going to concede, you will not, or rather, if I'm not going to score, you will not score me. And so he set up from the back, from the goalkeeper. We have 3 left backs. We have 2 right backs. We have multiple replacements in that back 5 or back 6. So that's still his setup. He prioritizes his defense a lot, and it's a function of how life has turned out and shaped him. Now, back to Chelsea. I think we let Chelsea off a little bit too easily. These guys have spent over 2 billion. They have a very, very robust squad of average players.
Oh.
And every time we hear, it's too early. I remember last season when Chelsea was pushing for the title, and then they interviewed Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was like, it's too early. They said, Cole Palmer, what's it like being title contenders? They're like, it's too early, man. I remember how he said it. And from that moment, they fell off. Early this season, they were in contention. And they've fallen off. And that's because it's a mentality thing. They feel, yes, we're a young squad. It's too early and all of that. It just creates a mental block and they fall off. So I'll just keep it brief and I'll pass it on to you guys. Continue, please. Okay?
It's hilarious hearing an Arsenal fan talking about average players. Because you haven't won anything. First of all, you've not won
on the verge
anything.
On the verge of very
on
close.
the verge, and this verge of if you lose against City and you guys win out and City wins out, you lose the Premier League. That's the thing. You guys are just you're a game ahead.
If
it's an if, yeah, obviously. Who knows?
So
Maybe you lose the game against Brighton.
Moment.
Maybe Brighton shows you Pepe your next game. You don't know. Maybe
City might as well lose as well. So
it's possible. So just saying. So just get off your high horse for a second here. You guys haven't won anything. Secondly, look, I'll be the last Chelsea fan, and I've been a Chelsea fan for what, decades now. I will be the last Chelsea fan to come here and say, we spent wisely. If you've been following me for the last 2-3 years, you know I absolutely detest the owners. I absolutely detest the business they've done. I absolutely hate how they've approached buying players in the market. And things I've said then about the fact that they're not focused on winning, they just focus on turning the profit, it's showing right now. the report that came out last, whatever, that we have 430 million pounds in losses. Just recently, something there about in the range. Massive losses. Last year it was losses as well. Now it's like crazy, the highest loss tally for the team. So I'll be the last person to come and defend the owners here. They've done trash, and I absolutely hate them. I'm still on Team Clear Lake out, and I hope these losses push them one step further to exiting the building. Having said that, I did not go into this game hoping Chelsea would win and somehow win something from the Premier League. The Premier League is done as far as I'm concerned for us. We just want to be in a respectable position. Matter of fact, I would have been okay losing every other game and ending 7th, 17th, as long as we stop Arsenal from winning the league. Like, that's how... I was saying that last time I was on the pod, I learned a new word like 2 years ago, Schadenfreude, which is just bad belly. I don't know why Germans have a word for bad belly, but I have serious bad belly for Arsenal. Anybody can win except Arsenal. If Burnley somehow make it to the top and win the league, I'm okay, as long as Arsenal do not win it. Back to your point, that's about the youth there. Obviously, you're right. The discipline there starts from the back room, and the fact that they're not, maybe they should have imposed fines or whatever. If you get a red card, you get fined heavily or something like that. But I still cannot, if you don't have senior players, and like I said, senior is relative. The top guys are still young to be you call them senior players, yes. Now Sanchez is always prone to gaffes. He's always prone to the error behind there. So I won't really fault him for that. That's how he is. That's a congenital issue. I'm not always blaming for that. But decision making, like getting a yellow card for dissent and then fouling literally a minute after that, fouling out of the game. Literally a minute after that. That is something that, as a senior player, if there's a senior player around, it'd be like, yo, shut your mouth up. Don't get a yellow card for this nonsense. And then you should know. But he's too young. He's older, relatively, but he's still too young to know, hey, I just fouled you. I can't be lunging in for a tackle like that. And he had the gall to get up and start giving excuses. Imagine in the days like you have at least a 30-year-old player that has experience in a key part of the whatever. They're like, hey, yo, shut up. Move off the whatever, man. Get off the field, or shut up. Don't commit any stupid fouls. That's why I say, like, the mix of players that they were buying, and goes back again to my hate for the owners for buying young players throughout. Like, we had Maguire was like in our crosshairs for a second, and I was telling my fellow Chelsea fans, if they buy Maguire here, I will trade one of my legs, because I know for a fact they don't go after established players. They go after young and promising players because they want to turn a profit. And that profit, by the God I serve, they won't get that profit. Just so those guys will leave my club alone. But again, it comes down to decisions you've made from back from the ownership and everything. And I can't really fault the coach, because honestly, he's done more than I expected of him for someone that's barely known. I'm just upset that we had the chance to stop our noisy neighbors from doing something, and we didn't. And I have to deal with weeks of Arsenal fans telling me, oh, this and that, and you know how noisy they are. And that's the one reason I don't want them to win. If the players are fine, yes, the coach, the club itself is fine, but the fans are now annoying they are. They deserve every bad luck that everybody's wishing on them. And I really, really, really hope that Man City don't mess this up, because I can count on Arsenal to drop points. But I hope Man City, step up and just stay the course. They just need to stay the course, and they'll win this thing. Just stay the course. So Arsenal, be happy, be glad. Man U, I know we're not talking about Man U today, but Man U, I'm starting to shift some of that hate from Arsenal back to Man U again. You guys feel like you're buzzing right now. You can talk. You guys are your puffing chest. You feel like you can wear blue whenever you want to wear blue. You feel like you can just talk and blame Chelsea for anything. Don't worry, your own is coming. It's just a Cinderella period. Your own is coming. So,
okay.
I'm not
I'm going to take the comments, and then I'll deflect some of those bullets, because these bullets are just flying anyhow. But anger causes people to misplace their anger and shoot at the wrong target.
Hey, man, I'm shooting at the right target here.
So I'll go back to. I believe this is Henry Bitoku. His comment about liability. He probably needs a break because he has shown in the past, in the last 6 to 8 games, that he has at least 2 howler moments in game. Fair enough. He's a good player. Uh, he's starting to bring back Zaka vibes. Then he says that's a lie, that Arsenal scores without set plays. It's just an added weapon. Then
Secret weapon.
I add the context about when we're talking about Arsenal being boring, and he says this is how Arsenal approaches games under top 4 sides. And then I don't know what Linga and Dada, something happened with Dada, it seems, but Linga is telling us that Dada's Taran is scaring me. We must unite. And he says hashtag no kings. Did he ban somebody on the forum?
No, he's
you can't blame them for employing these tactics. This is Harry going back.
I really can't.
Yeah, I'm not actually blaming them for the tactics. I'm just saying they're boring. They're ugly. I'm just calling them what they are. I'm not hating on Arsenal. I don't hate on you. Do what you gotta do. I'm just saying that Arsenal fans should not try and take any high road here. They should be very humble because they'll be so hypocritical if they start saying, "Oh, that's how they gotta do." You can't blame them because 10 years ago you were calling teams. 10, 20 years ago, you were calling teams names for playing this kind of football. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's bad football.
Times have changed. Times have changed.
Well, then turn around and
times have changed.
I actually think it's kind of refreshing that a boring part of the game has become so crucial. I think it's kind of refreshing in my mind. I honestly don't really like it. It's kind of refreshing, honestly, to see like they perfected. They kind of perfected a boring part of the game. I kind of like that. Yeah.
Does any of you watch the NFL? In the Super Bowl and the playoffs, there's something they kept saying a lot. And I was trying to understand why did they keep saying it. I read about it and I realized what they were saying is this, that most of the games, people like saying the games are won with the offense and the defense, and the defense, when defense is good, you win championships. The guys are saying yes, but most teams have good defenses when they get to this stage. Now, what actually happens is the special teams.
Special teams.
Those guys are only going, and sometimes they just turn games. You're going, that's true. And it's the special teams in NFL is like set pieces in football. And what has happened is that the full meal, it's no longer about the meat and the carbs. It's now about the veggies, the sides, the dessert, the appetizers. Everything is now being brought in. So if you, it's not about how good you press. It's not about your counter press. It's about how do you take those little moments that you can create an advantage from. And one place you can create an advantage all the time is set pieces because the team never knows what you're doing. With general football, they can see, they can suss it out. A set piece is one time. You get it right, it's too late. They can suss it next time, but you've used it. So it's a good. It's not. I'm not hating. I just want to be honest. I'm not hating. Asha Sampong says that outside of Neto stupidity, Asta was getting a lot of favors. Now there's a conversation going on in the comments that people are not correct and replying to each other. He says, "I didn't realize you could hold a
for real
and nothing is called."
That guy, Rice had his hand around Hato.
What's
like and the commentators couldn't even say something. They couldn't even say something.
I feel that happens. That happens a lot.
This was in 4K. Everybody could see it. Hugged him, held him down, and the commentators even said,
So grappling is a common thing in today's football. So unless it goes over the edge, maybe if a player falls to the ground or something, but more often than not, referees overlook it. A lot of pushing goes on. Remember when Dan Burn scored against Man City? They shoved him offside. They pushed him offside before the set play, and it was offside and headed and he scored, and they disallowed to go for offside. So it happens until the FA comes and stamps their feet. And they say, okay, any form of grappling would be considered a infringement. Then we will continue to bend the rules to our advantage.
It's physical. It's physical. Yes, it's physical.
Simple.
He locked his arms around him. He locked his, like, the guy shook himself around. He was giving himself a handshake.
He said until the FA, because he knows that if they stop all this grappling, Arsenal won't score.
It has affected us.
This guy is an elbow keeper. They will go, they wait for keeper to jump. They will link keeper with small elbow. They'll say the keeper is not strong.
I think it was Brentford or somebody. They held I think Leno or Ramsey was the keeper at that. He held him like this and he couldn't move and they scored. No. This was like 2 seasons ago before Raya became our keeper. You know, so we fallen victim of this. And we've employed the tactic also. Okay. So I can't hate the game.
Essentially, all you're saying is turn by turn.
I'm endorsing it. Until they clamp down on it, I will not frown at it. That's all. And if it happens, fair game.
I love football. What goes around comes around.
It comes around. It's coming for you.
Okay. Let's go to the next comment. These comments are really interesting. He goes, wait, this is Harry Bitoku now. They're basically replying to each other. So I'm just going to read this comment. This is Harry saying, wait.
Thank you.
Asha was getting famous. What are you on, Asha? Did you miss the 3 breaks in play the ref made when he could have played on? You probably watched a different game. Then Asha says, would you get the break if the penalty is scored?
Facts.
Okay, wait.
Facts.
Eric says, please cry me a river. What other teams report these tactics? We didn't hear Pim. Relax, bro. What other teams have these rugby tactics? Name them. I concur. Chelsea tried. Okay, they changed topic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, let's go back. I dropped a comment because I was following that thread. So let me go back. I want to finish these comments because there's a lot and they were flowing. Ayo says it's probably one of the few United fans that prefer Arsenal to win over City despite the annoying fans. I'm one of them.
I knew there's a reason I didn't like you, Ayo. I knew there's a reason I don't like you, Ayo.
No, but Benny, let me analyze it for you this way. Apart from City being our own noisy neighbors, you have to understand something, that if they win it, this will be like 5 out of 7. Like,
well, we know they have.
Out of 10?
The thing is, here's the thing. We know City have the financially doping. Yeah, financial doping with all the charges and everything. There's always an asterisk to all their wins and everything. I don't know. I don't. It's kind of weird when City wins. Nobody's like, oh wow, they're great now. Everyone's like, okay, they won. Yeah, whatever. They're financially doping or whatever. They just win. But if Arsenal wins, it's almost a stamp of like, oh, they are legit. They are here. I don't know. I can't explain this, man. Any other team winning, well, okay, this is a solid team with a core or whatever that they've achieved something. But with City, it's like, all right, yeah, City, they got all this money.
You guys enjoy trolling Arsenal, right? Now, if we win it, we've taken away that jacket of trolling of Thirsty away. So
that's the thing.
You miss us.
That jacket needs to stay there. Nobody else wears. That jacket will fit in a die. The jacket fits you well.
You haven't won the Champions League.
Well, I even feel this EPL is more important currently this year. By context, I feel winning EPL is even more important.
That Champions League draw.
In all honesty,
it made me angry. It made me
very
angry.
Very favorable. Want to right? Oh no, we'll get there. So let's not spill the beans.
But Benny, look, let's put it this way. Everything is all falling in place. When the elephant falls from the tree, they won't have excuses. The trolling will be sweeter. But personally, it's just that I find it very hard to want a team that is financially doping to win. But I get your point. Arsenal fans are annoying. Arsenal fans, man, like I want Aston Villa to win the league if possible. But now that we're taking them, that's how useless they are. But I don't want Man City to win this league. I wish Man City and Arsenal could not win the league. That's just this thing. So Henry actually says that I concur. Chelsea try to buy their way out of a proper rebuild, and they're paying for it. They were never doing a proper rebuild. They just buy players to
Yeah, that's what
max
I
their
think. That's
value
his
and
point.
sell them.
That's his point.
Just they
They
are
didn't do a
planning
proper
to become
review.
a selling point in the future. Yeah, they're trying to become a. There's no way. The only reason you're buying 20-year-olds and giving them a 7-year contract is that you hope that they become good in the 4 or 5 years.
It's
You
a
go buy and sell
it's
them.
a
Because if
business where
not,
you can
Yeah.
flip. Yeah. Now they have to sell actual players. I think to cover the loss that they're in, right? They have to sell like legit members of that squad. And I can't wait to see the disaster when they say, oh,
and they will have to sell more in the future.
we're selling Enzo or we're selling Palmer.
They're going to sell more. It's not
Let's see.
Henry now
The
says
most-
that
actually, the most sorry.
Go ahead.
The most profitable person to sell right now is somebody that comes from the academy, which is going to be Rhys James or Chalobah, or because they sold most of the academy players. Rhys James and Chalobah will be very attractive to sell. Just watch. Very attractive to sell because they have zero in costs. It's just pure profits, and that's the easiest way to clear some of those.
That's right.
The hole they're in.
That's if Rich James stays in form. He's always injury prone.
He hasn't been injured much this season. Not this season. I don't know. If
That's the first.
died or
That's the.
something.
This is. I think it's the longest.
Yeah.
Longest spell I've
The
ever
thing
seen
with
in the
Rhys
same
James, though,
team.
if you sell Rhys James for 30 million, if you sell Rhys James for 30 million and you sell Cole Palmer for 30 million, you basically made the same profit or more profit on Rhys James because Rhys James has 30. And then Cole Palmer, you have to subtract the 45 million you gave City. So that's
a
why
loss.
Rhys
Selling
James
at a loss, pretty much.
doesn't matter if they sell him cheap.
They'll clear pure profits. Yeah.
Henry's in a very good mood today. So he's commenting a lot. And it's when Arsenal fans win, that's some of them.
That's when they talk now.
This is a lot of them are coming out. So Henry says Arteta left it from the Rams coach. They adopted the NFL approach. I replied that there's an article I read from analysts that analysis Arsenal suggested it to Arteta a couple of seasons ago about using set pieces like special teams. Wow. And then Henry says they break the game into quarters. And they play NFL tactics with game management and approach. Benny, if this guy is don't win the league this season,
bro,
they can't throw you, man.
No, honestly,
I really might take a day off.
No.
Just to go into all my channels or whatever everywhere.
Honestly, if we don't win the league, the only thing that can compensate would be the UEFA Champions League, right? But still, it'll hurt. Now, if it happens that we don't win either the UEFA Champions League or the EPL, I will take a break. I'll log off social media.
You have to.
For a year. I have to.
Bro,
because
I have
invested so much.
Harry said you was not know me. Harry, you will know me that time.
even if you block mail, USPS, we'll use pigeon to deliver the message to you. Pigeons.
Because I've invested so much emotionally, everything. If you don't, it won't be funny. I promise you. I promise you that.
Harry says
I thought that's the group.
No, I'm not trying to diss you, but I know who you are, man. I know who you are. Let's move on. Let's move on to a very interesting one. Okay, Henry dropped one comment quickly. Says, I am realistic. For the record, that's actually fair point. I believe it can happen. I believe there's a high chance because there are too many eggs. They're going to choose one at the end. That's what
funny. I feel that if we mess the Premier League up, it will have a huge psychological blow on all the players, and I don't think we're going to win a Champions League. No. Once City overtakes us, then the problem has begun, because I don't think that team has that mental strength to go the way, and this has been the stumbling block over the last couple of seasons. All you just need to do is stay the course, right? one leader should charge everybody. But I don't see that leader. I don't see anybody in that team that can grab the team by the scruff of the neck and say, "Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go, guys." You know when Chelsea won the Champions League a couple of years back, they were crap. They were not. They were terrible.
Which year?
But on that, the last one they won, I think 2020.
Oh, they were not terrible then.
You were terrible.
122.
You were terrible. It was just a clutch moment. Giroud clutch moment. Individual. And then on that final day, Kante was unstoppable. But you don't have that kind of player in Arsenal of, no, I'll die here. Nah, bro. Everybody, once they score and we concede, everybody's head drops. And that's a problem that I've been seeing a lot of times. I was hoping with the injection of Heinze into the team would, add some spark and everything. Early this season, I could see potentials. But right now, there's doubt in every Arsenal fan's heart. But I'm hoping that at least for once, Luck will shine and will change the narrative. So that's how I feel, and that's what I stand. Yeah.
Okay. We'll save this. I need to move us along. We'll save this. That's a very. I'm going to take Harry's last comment on this, and then I'll move on. Harry too. I will move on. Why is that? We can analyze this all day. Every game we can sit down and analyze the game for 2 hours, but we gotta. If not, we'll be here all day. So let's move on. But I'll take Harry's comments because his comments on this. I don't want us to start thinking what he was talking about later. He goes, City are about to go or one of those end of season unstoppable runs, bearing any injuries. I believe we will bottle the league. Laugh out loud. Baba is saying once. It's more like when. But not once, so it's going to happen. I've seen enough to know we'll bottle second FC. We're too naive and can't put out games if and when we need to. We have dropped too many points. Okay. My only response to this is it's squeaky bum time. It's part of what happens when you're going to. I'm a Manchester United fan. Benny has won league titles too as a Chelsea fan. You can't win a league title without up and down. If your team cannot go through that time when you're doing your ass is doing like this, you can't sit, then you're not ready. So what I'm telling you this is that if you guys are scared, it's the same fear you're having, it's in the team, but they have to break through it. It's the same issue Man City has. Because you're going, we've dropped too many points. Well, Man City's been overtaken because they've been dropping points. So if somebody will be good, just a little bit better than the other. But to try and say you need to be perfect, it's possible you might need to be perfect, but not every season is Man City, Liverpool. Some seasons is about who ekes out that point at Brighton, who beats Brentford. That might be what wins the league. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
The two teams are good, but I don't think they're the best yet.
You're totally right.
That's
Henry said that City will go on those kind of runs. They used to go on those runs because they had KDB. You cannot write off the fact that KDB is always injured. He'll go out injured and then he'll come back and they'll give you 10 monster games. And then with Haaland firing all of that, they would always deliver and overtake you and, win the league. But currently, they don't have that anymore. So I can't beat my chest and say City will go all out and not lose any game to the end of the season. It's not so. And again, they're very reliant on Haaland. Haaland was out last game. I don't know to what extent his injury would be, but they're very reliant on Haaland. And if Haaland isn't scoring, trust me, the rest of the team is not scoring as much as they should for a title-winning team, in my opinion. Right? You need to have goals from the midfield. You need to have wingers that score. The wingers don't score, so they don't look like that team anymore. They might win it, but they don't look like that team anymore. It's not inevitable like a couple of seasons ago. Yeah.
But Guehi, that signing there, I think that's what's changing it. That's why I'm backing City to go here, because I know you probably want to look at attackers and everything, but signing that guy probably England's best centre back right now, currently. So for him to go in like middle of the year, like allowing that guy to come, bro, that's crazy, man. That's crazy they allowed it, because again they'll figure it out. Man, this guy's just saying exactly what I'm thinking. They'll figure it out.
Nope. Yeah,
And I actually
Pep
think it'll be less about, in my opinion, I think it'd be less about City winning out and more about Arsenal dropping points. I think it'd be more about Arsenal just dropping crucial points where they shouldn't be dropping points. And again, you can only rely on set pieces for so long. You also have to figure out a way to actually score, like in open play. And nobody only then sabi do set pieces. You know, I didn't play Brentford again. Okay, they already played Brentford. When that Coyote guy with the long throws,
he did it again. He did it again this weekend.
He did it again
this weekend.
That's crazy, man. The new Delap. Anyway, but I do think it's more about Arsenal dropping points. Their players are so inconsistent. Some of the key players you'd expect to be consistent over and over, they're so inconsistent. Eze probably can only play well against Tottenham, and they don't play Tottenham around, so he's going to go back to being a non-entity, a non-factor.
He was terrible.
Saka is strangely, like, I don't know why he's like kind of dropped form or whatever. And Zubimendi, one fancy pass away from giving the ball to the striker. So I think your most consistent player right now.
Let me ask you a question, Benny.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Simple question. Bodo Glimt or Galatasaray? Who are your dark horses?
Bodo Glimt. Galatasaray are quite good up front, but I don't know if I don't think they have the mentality. I think they're lacking the mentality. That's the only drawback, and they're in a much tougher side of the bracket. So yeah, if Bodo Glimt can get past Arsenal, they're going to the finals. That's my own opinion. If they get past Arsenal, they're going to the finals.
Wow, that's a heavy one.
I know. I know it's weird, but man, those guys, they play. The mentality, man. I think it's the mentality there. They hired an ex-Marine or something like that to come and give them whatever.
Looking at the bracket. Okay, so looking at the bracket, I'm still with you, Benny. Looking at the bracket, are you saying Spurs are not potential dark horses?
If they are dark, anything,
because they have
be dark monkeys.
Atletico, who are not very good.
Well, and Spurs are not good either. So actually, I think for Spurs, what's going to be crucial there will be injuries. They have that list of injured players is very long right now. Key players are off. Key players are out. So unless some of these key players come back as somehow in form, I think it'll be too hard to handle Atleti's kind of more dynamic attack right now and their crazy defensive mindset. And they have a more dynamic attack. They just signed this guy, Lukman, who's been great, maybe not necessarily in La Liga, but at least in cup games, which the UCL is one of them. But the mix of Lukman, Alvarez, Griezmann, Sorloth, and Simeone's kid, I forget his name, but those guys, they play very good attacking. So I don't think Spurs can do anything there.
Okay. Well, same question to you.
Okay. I've gone for Bodo Glimt, for just for controversy's sake, I'll choose Gala, and my reason being that yes, offensively they're good. They have the Osimhens and the Sanes and the Gundogans. That's valuable experience, and that can come into play when push comes to shove. Now, the chaos that their home game brings, the frenetic energy can also be an advantage to them. So I would say right of Galatasaray at your own peril. If they get past Liverpool, I would say I would fancy their chances. I would have them fancy their chances. So yeah, I'm going for Gala in this case. Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I'm going to go for Spurs.
Okay.
Just
how about Atalanta?
Them, also because not just
Atalanta's not going anywhere.
What? There's a champion side, and then there's the others. They are on the other side. And on that side, the only real teams on that side you really say are Arsenal and Atletico Madrid that they're playing. So if they beat Madrid, they can beat almost anyone there. And the way it's looking, they don't have to beat Arsenal to maybe send it. So it's a good chance for them. But Glint has a problem that if they win this one, they have to play Arsenal. Though, of course, we're all saying they have to play Arsenal because, like, we believe Arsenal will win. But
Arsenal will
technically, we all believe Arsenal.
I think they will.
Are going to get to the
German defenders are butter.
That's why I'm picking Spurs. They're on the weaker side. It's like that's why I'm saying, look, okay, exactly what you just said. Look at this bracket, right? Look at this bracket. You have on one side, you have Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen, Sporting, Bordeaux, Spurs, Atletico, Barcelona, Newcastle. Oh, I forgot Barcelona. But Barcelona too are very, very.
They're floundering right now.
They're very erratic.
Like, yeah, very good, but it's like it's good all through. This season is like they're like this. They're still on top, but they're not really as good. They don't look as good as sharp as. They look beatable. So, and for some reason, they've been very good in the Champions League. That's the injury problem. They're whooping everybody. So, I think that they might have something to say. So, what about favorites? My favorites are Arsenal. Like, I'm just looking at them and going, weaker side of the draw, weaker side of the bracket. Everybody on the champion side is on the chopping block. Everybody. Man City could be out next round. Real could be out. You know, they're almost all of them have tough games. So they're gonna have. It's a mid grinder. A lot of those big guys will be gone by the time you get to the semi-final stage. So I think Arsenal will be there.
It's crazy. It's crazy that I can't see it clear cuts. Like this is probably one of the first ones I'm like, man, I don't know, clear cuts favorite. I mean, on paper you want to say, okay, Bayern Munich, but I have been on this hill of like German league teams having poor defenders, and Bayern Munich is probably the poster child of that claim. Because when you look at Upamecano, who you think, oh, this is a great defender, Jonathan Tah and Kim Min-jae, these are guys that you would expect, okay, they can pull off, they can come together and form a good defensive unit. But their left back, the new left back they got, who has been deputizing for Davis, guy is a defensive liability. So I think obviously in front they have the Rolls Royce right there. Like take your pick. They're very good, even though I don't really like Olise that much. But they're very good up front. The middle is kind of decent as well, but the back, the defense, I think is where they're suspect. Any team playing them, trying to play out of the back, you're just causing water for yourself. Launch it forward and let those guys make errors, because one thing is guaranteed. Three things are guaranteed: death, taxes, and Bayern defenders making errors. They will make errors for you, and you can pounce on that. So I don't think I have any clear favorites, but if I were to pick a team, it wouldn't be Arsenal. I don't think hate in my heart will allow me to pick Arsenal for anything. I would say, and this is weird, I would say Atletico. I don't know why. Atleti, for some reason, I just feel like the defensive, mindset that they have, I think they're able to like go toe-to-toe with a lot of these big teams.
Shouldn't that be a dark horses there?
They're not really dark horses.
Mike has one of the favorites.
For me, I wouldn't go with dark horses. I think dark horses are people I think shouldn't even be at this level. I think Atleti should be at this level, and I think they will go far. Bodo Glimt should not be at this level. They shouldn't be. We shouldn't be seeing their names in this whatever. Galatasaray same or kind of same, but not quite. And Tottenham, Spurs, given that anyway, those three I think are fair options for dark horses. But I'll go with Bodo Glimt just from what they've done so far, and I can't wait. I can't wait for this to start. I can't wait.
Okay, well, for me, of course, my favorite would be Arsenal, and this is not just me being an Arsenal fan. It's based on trends and history. Well, history is dating from the start of this season. Uh, we've had a formidable run towards to this knockout stage. We're 8-8. We won 8 games. Amazing run, and then Mother Luck now favored us with a favorable side of the group, like the groupings. So our pathway looks much more easier than what we have in the left, and we deserve it. And that's because every year in times past, it's always been Bayern Munich, Barcelona. Even last season, we had very tough fixtures. We faced Real Madrid, we faced PSG, that were arguably the best side in last year's Champions League. So for a change, I'm happy that we have something like an easy pathway towards the finals. I don't see us not getting to the finals. Anything other than this would be a disaster, in my opinion.
Wow.
And then on the other side, I'll say the winner between Madrid and City would get to the finals. It's a very strong side, very strong pairings, and it's very hard to predict between PSG or Chelsea or Gala versus Liverpool or Madrid versus City or Atlanta. Like, it's balanced. I'm not even going to lie. Even you think Liverpool would walk over Galatasaray, but I don't even think that's going to happen. Like, it's going to be a test for the cup side. So basically, if I were to choose, I would say I fancy Arsenal really this year.
Wow. I'm shook because it's not you saying Arsenal are favorites. It's that you said, and I paraphrase, that if Arsenal don't get to the final, did I hear right?
Of course, I'm cocksure. You heard me right, bro.
But I agree with you. That's only comma is there. Like, wow. Okay, let me take comments. People have been dropping their favorites, and okay. Harry says that Bodo Glimt have what's it? Give me one moment. Okay. There you go. Got it. Okay. He says, you guys know Bodo players are fresh. The league has been over for a while now. Actually, they're in preseason, I believe. They're just training and hammering guys during Champions League. We haven't Arsenal or Sporting before. The Norwegian domestic league, Elite Series, is currently in its regular season. As Norway's league typically runs from spring to autumn. So Bodo Glimt's main current focus is Champions League. Wow. Okay. Ayo says his favorites are Bayern, his dark horse is Atletico. Kaiser says Arsenal should do the semi-final without breaking a sweat. I agree. The reason why I did not go with Arsenal, Ayo says, is because their key players will be so tired from the fiscal drain of the title race. Arsenal has a big squad.
Thank you. Squad depth.
Not a big squad. Easy about the Champions League. All those teams work hard to get their support. That is true. Everybody here is good. And then he goes.
These are the Arsenal fans.
These are the Arsenal fans that give side eyes.
I'm with you, Henry. Bombastic side eyes. Yes.
I was like, man.
Let us dream.
Okay, gentlemen, we are about to wrap up. We have come a long way. It's been an hour. It's been a fun one. Before we wrap up, we're going to go to EPL Top 4 predictions, and then we're going to do Kudos and Donkeys of the week. For this part of the prediction, you don't need to give me who's the champion, who's second, who's third, who's fourth. We just need 4 names, We don't have to say who's going to be bottom. We already know who's going to be bottom. So is it going to be Wolves, Burnley, and West Ham, or Wolves, Burnley, Nottingham, or Wolves, Burnley? Well, I mean, I kind of told you that two people are getting relegated. But so let's start with the relegation teams. I'll go first. Um, Wolves are last. Wolves are getting relegated. Burnley are getting relegated. There's no need to hammer that one. West Ham are getting relegated. They're, they're what's it called? Picking up form at the wrong time, and the guys above them are not. The gap is a bit much. They're not all dropping points. So I don't think West Ham overtakes the guys on top of them.
There are 2 points, just 2 points between them.
Yeah, but the problem is that Nottingham Forest too is not Nottingham Forest is not that bad, and they are also picking. It's like the yo-yo is between both of them. You need to be. What I'm saying is that they need Nottingham Forest to be bad and drop. It doesn't look like Nottingham Forest is going to be as bad as Burnley is. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They look marginally the same teams. Like they have very similar forms. And so I think Nottingham Forest has an edge with goals and so on. That's what I think. But what do you think, Ben?
I agree about Wolves and Burnley. I do think West Ham and Forest are still up in the air. I don't think Spurs will go down. I actually hope they don't. I don't know why. I guess maybe in the words of the those guys that said too big to fail. I don't know. I think it's probably too big to fail. I actually think it might be Forest that goes down instead of West Ham. I think it might be Forest. I haven't looked at the run of games to the end, but there's enough to go. There's enough for West Ham to pull a miracle, which I don't think would be that much of a miracle. But yeah, I low-key want Forest to go down based on what they did to their managers. But
I was going to say the exact same.
But West Ham, I think West Ham. I hope West Ham stay.
Yeah, I don't mind what I'm saying, but I don't know if they will. But it's a Nuno versus Nuno. Nuno format team versus Nuno. One of them goes down.
Right.
Well, you're saying the same thing that you believe is Wolves, Burnley, and Forest.
Yes, I'll say Wolves, Burnley, and Forest, and Forest because of how they treated their manager last season. Like the owner was terrible. So I think this is karma. Basically, although I'd have loved for Spurs to go down, but I think they have enough. Yeah, Spurs have enough to stay up. Like they have enough talents to stay up. So yeah, they will stay up. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your top four?
My top four: Arsenal, Man City, and this is in no particular order. Liverpool and Man U. I think Man U will edge. Man U will edge Chelsea, and will edge Chelsea because of Chelsea's lack of maturity and disciplinary behaviors. That it'll cost them. So, and Man U in the momentum, I think it will sustain them until.
Let me interrupt. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm sorry. It should be top 5. There has to be a correction on that. It should be top 5 because there's also Aston Villa, and then 5 people qualify. So please, it should be top 5. I apologize.
Okay. So if it's top 5, then Villa would be the 5th.
So can you redo that?
Arsenal, Man U, Villa, Liverpool, and Arsenal, City, Man U, Villa, and Liverpool.
Fair enough. Benny?
In no particular order. City, Arsenal, United, I think Villa have supported me. Then that, in a bad run of form, so I have them outside of the top five, which actually AY called last time I was on ball a while ago. I just didn't see it, so kudos to him. But I'll go Chelsea 5. Yeah.
I go with the exact same with Bolan. I think Chelsea will be the odd ones out. I think City and Arsenal are already made top four. Uh, Aston Villa might actually be the ones to fall out of the other three. If Chelsea get in, it will be Aston Villa coming out because yeah, their form has become very wobbly, and Liverpool and Manchester United seem to have found form and confidence at the right time. And we know what form and confidence does. And then the both two teams have been so down that they're playing. For a while they've been playing almost relegation football. What I mean relegation football is that they've been playing. If you lose, your season is over. If you lose your season, they've been playing it for weeks now, months now. So there's since then they're used to that pressure, that fire brigade approach of fighting every week. I think they're going to continue fighting and cover up their issues. Chelsea for me is that indifferent form. That idea that when you begin to look at them funny, they play well. When you begin to look at them, oh, they're looking good, they play funny. They're a team that you can't understand. Like a team that can go to the World Club Cup and beat everybody and look like the best in the world, and then come back and look like plumbers. I don't know what kind of team Chelsea is, but it's just a funny team. Henry left a comment here that I'll read. He said that when Barca is dead and Atletico, you're claiming final. Both pipe down, calm down. Arsenal semi perhaps not final guarantee. Actually, for Atletico to get to the final, they have to beat Arsenal. And Atletico is not a team. If it was Barcelona, yeah, Atletico, that team hasn't been. They're good, they're dynamic, but I don't know whether the dynamics will change the team. The team is not as solid as they used to be. Ayo says, I promise you that Arteta will not rotate the key players down the stretch. Saka, Rice, Zubi, etc. And so that will affect their league Champions League. Ayo says relegation is Wolves, Burnley, Forest. Wow, it looks like Forest. Then he says top four is Arsenal, City, Man United, and Liverpool. Okay. And he now corrects it and goes top five is Arsenal, City, Man United, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So he's saying Arsenal Villa out. Okay. So it's a tough one. I just think United and Liverpool are looking the best of the best. But when I look at let me say it this way. When I look at Chelsea and put Aston Villa on the side, players, Aston Villa look more organized. Coaching, they look a better coach team. But their form has always been funny, and then they drop form. Aston Villa, even under they drop form at this time of the year. Start April when it's late. So we'll see. So let's move on to our kudos and donkeys for the week so we can then wrap it up. So let's start with the donkeys this week. Benny, you want to start?
Donkeys, and I know they had no control over this, but the UEFA for drawing Arsenal in a very easy bracket. Donkeys for me. Donkeys for me. If they're going to be champions, they should be put through fire. But no, they just give them something easy. But then, in a possible twist of fate, it could make for the best trolling material ever if they somehow crash out before they get there. But donkeys for me, UEFA for now. It's not real donkey, it's just partial donkey for me.
My donkey for the week is it was a Mourinho and Benfica. sometimes it's not the crime, it's the cover up. It's not what the guy says, it's the way you react to what he says. Like, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. I'm going, "Yeah, okay, what do you mean it's not that bad?" And then you start explaining why it's not that bad, and then you get into more trouble than the guy that actually did the thing. Mourinho has just keeps talking. I know he's trying to defend his players, but I keep telling people one thing. Sometimes they like to just keep quiet. It's the same thing with Benfica.
Right.
I know they're trying to defend their players, but they can just say, "We've made a comment about this. Let people should stop talking. Let it just play out."
Yeah.
But they keep, "Oh, it's not this," and then okay, what you're trying to tell us is that the guy is not a racist, but he's a homophobe, and one is okay.
That was the craziest. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Hey guys said, "I didn't say anything racist. Yeah. I just said something homophobic." I'm like, "What?"
What?
I was like, "How's that a defense?" Just say. Actually, if you're gonna lie, just lie. If you're gonna lie, just lie, because nobody has the proof that what you said, because you covered your mouth to say it, which is probably the smartest thing he said. Cowardly, but still the smartest thing he did was to cover his mouth when he did that nonsense. If you're gonna lie, just lie. But don't. "Oh, I didn't say anything racist, but I was just homophobic." Huh? Yeah, Mourinho did not cover himself in glory there. And I'm a huge Mourinho fan, but he went too far into supporting something that he didn't have to say anything about. Just check it off. Just don't even try to say anything. Just be quiet. You don't have to say anything. But now he wanted to prove, like, "Oh, I'm a supporter of my club." Get out of here, man.
Yeah. Well, now, you have any donkeys?
Yeah, donkey of the week would be Spurs, and Tottenham Spurs for not having a single victory in the league this year is some serious work, and it's an unenviable record, which I'm happy. I'm not complaining, but yeah, they do deserve to be donkeys of the week. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? They have no single victory in the league? That can't be right.
Yes.
Oh, this year, 2026. Okay.
Yes. In the calendar. Yes,
okay,
they won in 2026.
Yes. Yeah. Not a single win. As a matter of fact, the whole of February was losses. It's really embarrassing.
It's almost talented. Yeah,
what's your kudos?
My kudos will be Wolves.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm a huge. If I were I'm a supporter of Wolves. I like the team. I liked them when they had a core of Portuguese players. All those flair players and everything. They were fun to watch. So it's sad to see them at this level. And I was hoping that they wouldn't be the worst ever relegated team. I'm proud that they've been able to claw their way back of that unenviable record. I think that record still belongs to Derby. So yeah, they beat Villa, and I'm happy that they put Unai Emery in his place. Because early season when they were outperforming, they had the lowest XG. And they were scoring. Rodgers just popped goal from afar, 20 in the yard, 20 yards, 30 yards. They were scoring from afar, overperforming their abilities. But now they're back to the level, and he's very grumpy about it. For the second time, he refused to shake the manager after the game. It's tradition. You need to do that. So I'm happy that Wolves did a number on them. So yeah, kudos to them for that.
My kudos.
It's already strong with this one. You and Ogapami are blood brother. Please go ahead.
My kudos will be Bodo Glint. They're on a crazy tear right now, and I just can't wait to see how it wraps up. To beat Atletico, to beat City, to beat Inter twice, like back to back, bro. That's impressive. I know that they're not in the league right now, but still, it's quite impressive what they're doing for an unknown team, essentially. I'm very curious to see what Norway does in the World Cup, if the World Cup still holds. But it's what they're doing is impressive, and they deserve the kudos.
Akinola says that his kudos is Bordeaux and Galatasaray. His donkey is Villa and Chelsea. Fair enough. Those ones don't need explanation. I'll still go back to the same incident and the same game because it all kind of started last week and ended up this week. Vinny Jr. is my kudos for the week because of what happened to him last week, and then he comes and dances again for these guys, and so they can, insult him again and say, that he provoked them, right? Let me provoke you again because, human, you know what? This is a very stormy period for this guy. If this guy had said, I don't want to play, I want to chill a little bit, people will understand. His fans will understand. It's not the incident that happened that actually is, for me, is the main thing. It's the way the people around, I read the comments, I read what people are saying. Oh, he celebrates, his celebration is this, is that. I'm going, okay, wait. And a way player scores, where is he going to celebrate? He needs to jump out of the stadium to celebrate because every celebration is provocative. It's not like Adebayo ran the whole field. This guy is close. He scored by that corner flag and he's celebrating by the corner flag. Oh, he shouldn't dance? Oh, he's Brazilian. They've said so many things because this thing, remember the way he first started, they were saying that his celebrations were excessive, that he dances too much. That's what one guy in Spain said. Like, they keep saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, why is he always here?
Be humble. Be humble. Don't celebrate.
No, yeah. He's a lightning rod. They always go back there. And he knows. And so he's like, okay, good. I'm going to embrace this and I will keep living my life. And so kudos to him. Because it's one thing to talk the talk. It's another thing to walk the walk. It's another thing to make people eat their words and stuff your food in their mouth. And they eat it. So...
Pastor Zaza, he's there stomping in the water. I agree, though. I do agree.
I think that's a good place to wrap up for the week.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on, Bola. Thanks for coming on, Benny. Thank you, Akinola. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you, Kaiser. Thank you to Linga. Her name was in my mouth and it left. Thank you, Linga. Thank you, Asha. Last but not the least, I want to say thank you to Harry. Harry, you actually kept us company. Your commenting was running on that there was somebody listening, and so thanks for being here this week. I'll see you guys next time. See you guys next week. We'll be here same time. Have a wonderful week. May your teams win if they're not playing against my team. Bye-bye.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing will beat your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing will meet your football needs. Your football needs. Banter from rivalries.